So, with the recent release of the very controversial The Last of Us Part 2 remaster coming out on PC, I've decided that I actually wanted to just brutally rank every single Naughty Dog game. Starting off with Crash Bandicoot 1. This game came out on the PS1, and I must say, this game is iconic. This game is an absolute masterpiece. I absolutely love the Crash Bandicoot games. I feel like the first game was just perfect. I really enjoyed it. I didn't play it much on the original PlayStation as I never had a PlayStation 1. It's just not my era. But I did get to play the remastered version in the recent couple of years. And I honestly thought it was a fantastic game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I do think it's worth going back to. I think it's a great and fantastic game. It's great fun. It's very easy to play. And it's just a good time. And honestly, I'd easily put this maybe in A tier. I might move it up to S tier though. So the next one we have is Crash Bandicoot 2, which I genuinely think is probably my favorite Crash Bandicoot game. Either 2 or 3. I feel like 2 for me was the one I had the most fun with. 3 I didn't get to finish, but 2 I played the hell out of. I got this when I had my Nintendo Switch, and I was playing the Crash Bandicoot games for a good while. I was just in that zone where I was just playing through all the Crash Bandicoot games when the trilogy came out, and I was really enjoying them. I flew through Crash Bandicoot 1 and I started playing 2 and I really enjoyed it. I think by the time I played 3, I was a bit over and done with the Crash Bandicoot franchise. I probably should go back to it. I did play a good bit of it, but Crash Bandicoot 2 I think is where the games peaked for me. I thoroughly enjoyed 2 and I genuinely think it's an amazing game and definitely worthy of an S tier in my opinion. So the next one we have is Crash Bandicoot Warped. This is the third game in the franchise. And I do think it's another A tier. I do think it's fantastic. Like, honestly, there's nothing really bad about the Crash Bandicoot games. They are what they are and they do what they need to do well. You know what I mean? These aren't made to be big, open world or anything like that. They're not meant to have crazy stories. Like, they are what they are and they do it great. And I think they're fantastic. And I think the trilogy remastered for 60 quid, you get 3 amazing games that just show the test of time that they're still fantastic and a lot of fun. The next one, I'm not sure how popular it is, but it's actually a freaking great time, and I've only played it recently at a friend's house, and it's honestly, I think, on par with Mario Kart. I think this game is absolutely fantastic. Like, if you've not played Crash Racing, it's so good. It is so much fun. Genuinely, could not make this game any more recommended, in my opinion. Like, trust me, play it. So the next one we have is the first ever Jak and Daxter. This came out on the PS2. I did play it. I have a PlayStation 2. And I do think it's a fantastic game. It's one of the first, if not the first game to come out on PlayStation 2. And I do think this game was like, oh, really, really impressive. Especially for the time that it came out. So I would have to easily put this another game in S tier. It's just fantastic. Yes, there's a lot of S tiers, but this is Naughty Dog we're talking about. And they make great games. So the next one we have is Jak and Daxter 2, which is probably going to be another S tier, just because I just think the world is beautiful, the music is so good and rich and just perfect. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought it was an amazing time. So the next one we have is Jak 3. Now, I haven't played as much of Jak 3. I have played it, and from what I've played and from what I've heard, it's not as good as Jak 1, Jak 2. I kind of just got bored of the story. I didn't really find it as enjoyable. I don't think it's a bad game, but I probably had to put it at the back of, like, maybe the front of B, back of A. I think I'll have to put it back of B just because, like, we're putting way too many in S and A, and I also just think, like, even these are a little bit too much better for Jak 3 in my opinion. The next one is Jak X, which is like another racing game, and personally, this wasn't that great. I bought it. I think I got it for like a pretty cheap price, and I just was not impressed. I was hoping that it'd be like the Crash Racing game, and sadly, it's just nothing like it whatsoever. So I'm probably going to put this down in C tier, in my opinion. Bit disappointed with it, not gonna lie. Now we're going to more recent times. Well, I would think it's recent, but it's not that recent actually anymore. The first ever Uncharted game, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Now this game, especially for its time, absolutely stunning. It's a fantastic game. It's a great game. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. I've played through it many of times. I think it's a great game. I think the world is amazing. The story's good. I don't think it's the best game ever, but I do think it's a brilliant game. Where would I put it? I'd probably put it just before Crash 2, my opinion. Now you may be like, oh, but there's a lot more in Crash in Uncharted, but in my opinion, it's not just about like story, because comparing Crash 2 to Uncharted just based on story or graphical reasons is just extremely unfair, because it's not meant for that. It's completely different art styles, completely different times of when they came out. Crash 2 for its time is absolutely phenomenal and is still a great game. Uncharted 1, in my opinion, actually, hot take possibly, but I think Crash Bandicoot 2 on the PlayStation has aged better than, let's say, Uncharted 1. Maybe I'm wrong. But I genuinely think like it still looks great. I'd still love to go back to it. Whereas Uncharted 1 kind of shows its age a little bit, because back when it came out, you think it's hyper realistic, whereas now you're like, I don't know. Now, going to possibly one of my favorites of all time, Uncharted 2. This, in my opinion, is probably Naughty Dog's best Uncharted game. Gonna be completely honest with you, I'm putting that game straight up front of S tier. It's an absolute beauty of a game. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's just perfect. Like, everything they did in Uncharted 1, I feel like Uncharted 1 was just like the beginning. They're just kind of getting new characters, new game, completely different style of game, in my opinion, to what they've done before. And they just worked on everything, and it was just a perfect sequel. Genuinely a perfect sequel. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I haven't played in a long time, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic game. I just had a lot of fun playing it. So that's where I probably put it. Front of S tier. Great game. Honestly, one of my favorite games of all time. The next one we have is Uncharted 3, and I was really anticipating this game. And to be honest with you, when it first came out, I absolutely loved it. But looking back over like the past couple of years, and after a couple of years after it even released, I kind of like am a little bit disappointed with this game. I just didn't find the story as good. I thought it was a bit boring at times, and a little bit just... It just wasn't for me. It kind of felt like a little bit of like a turn off from like 2. Just I don't know what it was about it. Just it didn't have like the same, I guess, the same aura around it. It just didn't feel the same to me, and I just didn't really enjoy this one. And I feel like that's kind of a common opinion about the game. That it's just like kind of one of the weaker Uncharted, if not the weakest Uncharted game. This is probably going to easily go in like back of A tier, if not front of B tier. I might have to move that, but that's where I probably put Uncharted 3. The next game that came out, The Last of Us 1. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to joke about this one. This is literally my favorite game of all time. Uncharted and The Last of Us is by far one of the best games I've ever played. If you've still not played it for some goddamn reason, please do yourself a favor. Go buy it, go play it, go watch it. Let's play on it. It's freaking fantastic. The story between Joel and Ellie, the bond, seeing it grow over time, it's just so good, and it's just perfectly done. It's, as I said, my favorite game of all time. I absolutely love it. I still go back and play it every single time. It's honestly, it's freaking fantastic. So the next game we got was Uncharted 4, and I quite liked Uncharted 4. I'm actually kind of contemplating where I'm going to put Uncharted 4. I'll probably going to put it back of S tier. Like, it's a freaking good game. Like, I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not sure what everyone else thought about it, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good time. I thought it was really fun. Definitely better than 3. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it in front of... I do think it's better than the first Uncharted game. So, I do think it was better than 3. I do believe it was better than 1. Nowhere near as Uncharted 2. Maybe that's just nostalgia talking, but in my opinion, Uncharted 4 was actually a great game. A good send-off to the series. I really hope they don't make a 5th game, because at that point I feel like they're just milking the franchise. I felt like making a 4th game was milking it at the same time, but hopefully they'll just leave it at that. But that's Uncharted 4 for you anyways. I thought it was a decent game. Good fun. Nothing really bad to say about it. I thought it was decent. So the next one we have is The Last of Us Part 2. Now, as I said, The Last of Us Part 1 was my most anticipated game probably ever. Waited probably close to 10 years for this game to come out. So much anticipation. So many people thought it was never going to happen. So many people thought maybe it shouldn't happen. Like, The Last of Us 1 ended off so perfectly. There's no reason for a second game. It's freaking fantastic. Where would they even go with the story? Is it even worth going back to? Would it ruin it? And I had full faith in Naughty Dog because up to this point, basically all their games are really good, and I thoroughly thought like, damn, there's no way they'd fuck this up. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. And before all the people start commenting down below like, oh, he's a hater, he's this, it's like, no, let me just hear me out. I thought the gameplay of the game is still probably one of the best games I've ever played. Gameplay wise, as in like the graphics, how you use the weapons, the motion of the characters, how they move, how you go through the grass, how everything works is so good. Spoiler alert, I'm going to say this really quick. The pacing of the game and how certain things are taken and how certain things are done, I feel like was a bit rushed, and basically they made us want to like certain characters for the sake of creating a story and an agenda. So it just felt like it was forced upon us to dislike certain characters and like others just so they can make a story. That was shocking, because I believe what maybe it was going through Neil Druckmann's head at the idea of creating a second game was, how do we shock the players as much as we did The Last of Us 1? So I guess they kind of just decided to go with that again, shocking the character, which I don't think shocking the player is the way to go with every single game. Like, it's a good fact to have it into the game because it makes you more invested in the story, but I just feel like you don't need that in every single game to carry us on. Like, we already love these characters, just give us more of what we got in the last one, you know what I mean? Not everything has to be super depressing. And that's probably one of the things I brought back from The Last of Us Part 2 is like, playing through that game, man, it's just depressing. Like, it's just depressing. And then the end, it was just so like, really? That's it? After all that? I'm gonna make a whole lot. You know what? This is completely made me decide. I want to make a whole video just explaining why I disliked The Last of Us Part 2. But I just felt like there were certain things going on with The Last of Us Part 2 that just didn't make sense to me, and it was very disappointing. I don't think it's trash, but honestly, I'm probably gonna put in like D tier. I don't hate any of the characters in the game. I just dislike Naughty Dog's ideas of how to make the second game. I felt like there was a lot of other ways they could have done it and done it in a way that was more justified to the characters that died. The reason why I'm not speaking about what actually happens is because obviously there's a season 2 of the TV show and the game just released on PC, so there's plenty of people that don't know. But I just felt like there were certain things they could have done better. You know what I mean? I have nothing wrong with what happened in the game, but it was how it was done, in the way it was done, and how early it was done. Maybe if they just paced it in a way that you can get what you want, and then later on things are happening, and then later on, you know what I mean? I just feel like that would have had a much better flow, and people would have been a lot more happy with the game itself. But yeah, I'd love to know your guys' opinions on this one, because I know it's a bit of a hot take. Well, not a hot take, it's quite... a lot of people probably have a similar take to it, maybe even more aggressive take or less of a harsh take on it. I do think it's a great game at the same time, which is a bit weird, the fact that I put it in D tier, but it's just because there's certain big portions of the game that are just so written in a way that I'm just like, what the fuck, that it just throws me off it completely. So yeah, and the game has just made me depressed the whole time, which, in my opinion, I just don't like the game. I don't hate it, I don't love it, I just think there's a lot to it that was really well done, and in some parts were just like, they took the idea of shocking the player, being different, being edgy, doing things that you won't expect a bit too far, to the point where it gets rid of the core points of what makes a great Last of Us game and what made the first one so beloved. They got rid of that, only shoved in the parts that shocked us, that made us upset, which is just going to shock us and make us upset. Anyways, guys, if you did enjoy this video and a bit of a ramble at the end, please do hit that like button. Let's see what we can get. The last one absolutely blew up. I don't know why. Thank you. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.